Mosquito bite. Mosquito bite.
Oh, no.
There's something here.
I got one on my leg.
It's not red enough for you to see it yet.
They're coming.
There's a mosquito bite. I got 3 mosquito bites on one ankle, 4 on the other ankle.
I almost was going to do man versus a mosquito carrying West Nile. But I think with 100 men, one of them would hand clap that thing.
How many? That's a good point. At a certain point, the mosquito gets full and doesn't want any more blood.
It would explode, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if they drink too much blood.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But you see it biting you and you
kid.
just flex.
Back when I was a kid and I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll take a mosquito bite. And now the mosquito starts and I'm like, nope.
Immediately.
Nope.
I cut grass 2 days ago and then it was nice out, so I just sat outside. And that's where the bites have come from, is just kicking it outside.
It's going to be full bite
down
spectacular
there.
Down at River Beach after the rain. Those mosquitoes are lurking. Lurking.
Nothing is more satisfying than killing a mosquito, right? But it's disheartening when the blood is all over you because you realize that's your blood.
Yeah.
You killed it too late. You've already been bitten.
He took something.
There's nothing you can do. It's gonna itch.
It's true.
Oh, such a pain in my ass.
It's true.
New month. Before we get to the song, it's time to delete.
Okay.
What are we gonna delete? Everything Now, Arcade Fire.
No.
Fed Up and Broke. Mr. MF Tat.
Oh, I can't get rid of Mr. MF
Blackbird. I forget whose Blackbird that was, but that was somebody's Blackbird.
I forget which Blackbird that was as well.
Another Life, Jason Robert Brown.
No, that's going nowhere.
Cater to You.
No.
Say Wogo. De La Soul.
No, Say No Go.
Say No Go. There we go. My handwriting. Simple Man.
No.
Velvet. Kobe.
No.
These Arms
It's
Are
Kirby.
Mine. Is it
No.
Kirby? By Your Side. Calvin Harris.
No.
Anxiety. Don't you can get
Absolutely
rid of that one.
not.
Proud of Your Boy. Aladdin.
I think I can do it. I can do it.
You can do that one.
Yep. I'm going to do it right now.
All right.
Proud of Your Boy, Aladdin. Deleted forever.
Delete it. Get it out of here.
I think we're starting the new month with a deletable.
What is it?
Specifically, it is Dua Lipa's Don't Start Now, but it's the Purple Disco remix. And I have 3 Don't Start Now remixes. And I'm going to delete all the remixes and just keep the original. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, May 1st. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. The NBA playoffs continue, but LeBron and Luka do not, as the Timberwolves eliminate the Lakers last night. Rockets stay alive against the Warriors. We'll get into all that action. Teresa Walker will join us in the second segment. We will recap the NFL draft with her, get her take on the Titans, other stories around the National Football League. It is a Thursday, it is a draft day, and we are drafting animals that 100 men could not beat in honor of the 100 men versus 1 gorilla debate that has taken over the world this week. We'll end with a little Theater Thursday, some movie news from the week. Also, the Tony Award nominations came out this morning. That is my selection Sunday. I was listening to those on my way in. We'll get into all that. It is a Thursday. You know what we say. It's gonna be me. I'm sorry, it's May 1st. What are you gonna say? It's gonna be May.
Are you ready? Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With special guests 3 doors down. And Mammoth WVH. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Creed returns, the Summer of '99 tour.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Double your chances to win all month long in March with 2 big promotions. On Fridays, embrace the madness and win a share of $150,000 in cash and free play. On Saturdays, starting March 8th, go for the gold and win your share of up to $10,000 in cash and free play in the $80K Fool's Gold giveaway. Enjoy live entertainment all month long and play for your chance to win big in March only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots. That
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're gonna get seated this. So who's gonna actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
I thought Penny was smart to handle this the way he handled it. He expressed frustration with the system, the chaotic nature of it. The price hike on eggs ain't got nothing on the price hike on basketball players. The same dude who cost you $150,000 last summer is costing you $500,000 right now. I understand his sentiment, but he stopped well short of criticizing PJ Haggerty.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
The sunshine, gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this feeling. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this feeling. This is my
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. A beautiful Thursday as the clouds parted after a rainy night. It's going to rain the next couple of days, but excited to take advantage of some nice weather. Took advantage of nice NBA playoff games last night. And CJ, literally every sports show in the country today is going to lead. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say it. Every sports show in the country is probably going to lead with LeBron and the Lakers and saying their loss to the Timberwolves was the most important thing to happen in the NBA last night as the Timberwolves advance and the Lakers season comes to an end. But not me. Not me, because I had a crystal clear favorite moment of the NBA playoff action last night, and it came with 4:14 left in the Warriors-Rockets game, in a game where the Rockets had led by as many as 31 points. Steve Kerr had emptied his bench halfway through the third quarter, but his end-of-the-bench guys had fought back into the game to make things at least a little bit interesting, got it within 13, so the Rockets starters go back in, and suddenly there's a fight for a rebound between Dylan Brooks, Moses Moody, and Pat Spencer. Pat Spencer, brother of Memphis Grizzlies own Cam Spencer. And then it pops off where Pat Spencer's getting into it with Alperen Şengün. And next thing you know, Pat Spencer and Alperen Şengün are having a moment together, and Pat Spencer goes for what officials would deem an attempted headbutt on Şengün. The Rockets starters in a fight with the Warriors scrubs, not something I anticipated, but even more so of something I did not anticipate, was a Memphis Grizzlies shout-out in last night's Warriors-Rockets game. Take a listen to what happened with the officials following this moment.
Followed by a technical foul and ejection on Cam Spencer for the illegal headbutt. One shot for the technical and then free throws off the penalty.
Oh, he met Pat Spencer, his younger brother Cam, of course, part of the national championship team at Connecticut, but Pat Spencer's night.
I'm sorry, Cam Spencer mentioned? Cam Spencer mentioned in the playoffs? I don't think Cam Spencer's playing anymore. He's up there. He's in the head. They do look the same. I need the entire Spencer family studied. I need to sit down with the whole group to understand what it is about this family that produces players like Cam Spencer, like Pat Spencer. I am also curious if Cam Spencer is the first player to ever get ejected in a game that he did not play in. Do we think that's happened?
I can't think of a time when this happened.
I can't think of a time. Perhaps someone was on a bench at some point in time where they didn't actually get on the court of that game. Pat Spencer, 14 minutes, 11 points, 4 rebounds, and an ejection. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to see. Now, is Pat Spencer a dog?
I think so.
See, I got in the weeds last night, CJ. I think we have to take dog status away from every single player in the NBA and reset the system, because I think we've lost the plot. I think we're calling people who are dogs not dogs. And I'm not saying that the Spencers are not dogs. One might say they're an effing grizzly bear. Okay. Shout out Zach Kleiman.
All right.
But I think we are being too gracious with the term dog. And Shaq and the NBA...
A dog is not an exclusive club. We used to make dogs. Like, people used to be dogged.
I think
Great
you are
Depression,
born
we
a
had
dog.
dogs. Yeah, we birthed dogs and we raised them in a dogged sort of way.
Sure.
And then we've lost that with the along the way. Somehow we ended up losing that. We lost it in the NBA when we decided, hey, we want players to have freedom of movement. And when you give players on the offensive side of the ball freedom of movement, you take some of that aggression away from opponents on either side. So we've taken that away, but there's still a way to be a dog in this soft-ass league. And this league is absolutely softer than it has been in years past.
But there are dogs. But when you see a dog, you know a dog. And yet you cannot really have a definitive description on a dog. But I think we've been I think we have been far too gratuitous
Who's not a dog
with the term dog. I came to the conclusion last night, I don't think Dillon Brooks is a dog.
Okay.
Dillon Brooks is a menace.
All right.
Dillon Brooks is a little bit psychopathic. But I don't necessarily think he's a dog.
Why not?
That's the thing. I see it. And I know.
What's the difference? I'm assuming you think Draymond Green is a dog.
I'm really forcing myself to be intentional.
Okay, so Draymond Green isn't a dog.
I think Draymond Green is a dog.
Great.
He's a veteran dog.
What is the difference in him and Dillon?
That's the thing. It's an intangible.
Okay, what's the intangible?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to come to the conclusion of. You can make the argument that Dillon Brooks is a dog. I just think we're like Shaq and the NBA crew was talking about the Lakers game and talking about how the Lakers have, and this was before any of the games even were played last night. And they just got into another conversation about dogs. And I was like, we keep doing this.
Also,
and we're just trying to force dog status onto anybody who plays tough, anybody who's good, anybody who can get a bucket, anybody who shows a little bit of physicality, but that is not what makes a dog. Those are all included in the making of a dog.
I think some of them
It's that
are.
X-ray. It's that X-ray that shows it on the inside.
You're excited about this dog talk. I don't think, because I'm with you, I think we throw that around a tad too much.
And I'm guilty of it. I'm part of the problem.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yes. So I want to take a step back.
I don't think that it is. I think it's a dog is specifically only talking about how hard you play and how physical you are on the court. So I think Dillon Brooks plays really, really hard, and he's a physical player. I think that makes him a dog. I think Draymond Green plays really, really hard. He's a physical player. That makes him a dog. Now, those are good dogs, right? Like, those are dogs who are good as well. The Spencers, I think they play really, really hard, and they're really, really physical. Not sure how good they are.
See, I think the Spencers could merge into the dog status because I don't think a dog is necessarily like, the dog is never the most important player on the court. It's an energy. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset. My whole point of this is you do not technically have to have a dog on your roster to compete for a championship.
Name me a team that didn't have multiple
Who on the
dogs.
Boston Celtics is a dog?
I would argue Drew Holiday. I would argue Drew
extra
Holiday. And what's the bald assassin?
Derek White.
Derek White. And I would throw.
I just think we're being gratuitous.
I don't think it is being gratuitous. Okay,
Who on the Nuggets championship team? Are you calling Jokic a dog?
Jokic is absolutely
Jokic is a grown-ass man, best player in the world.
Aaron Gordon was one. Brown was one. The White Brown was one as well. So they had dogs on that team. And again, for me, all a dog is, you play really, really hard, and you play physical. Like, if you can do those two things,
those are your status.
I throw you into the dog category criteria. I don't care if you get buckets, right? Anthony Edwards, tremendous player, gets buckets, eliminating all of his heroes. I'm glad he doesn't look up to me because he'd eliminate me, right? Like, I'm glad that that's not the case for me, but I don't think he's a dog. I think he's a great basketball player, a phenomenal scorer. I don't think he is a dog. Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive big men of all time. I don't think Rudy Gobert is a dog.
Yeah, I don't either. I just think there's not as many we've turned this into like, if you play hard, and I don't think it should be that simple. I don't think you should get dog status if you just play hard and are physical. I think you have to be willing to die for the game, to throw your body on the line.
You don't think Draymond Green will die for basketball?
I'm just trying to really strip this back and then rebuild. So yes, I would give Draymond Green. And ultimately, if I'm working through this thought exercise excessively, Dylan Brooks probably ends up there. But I just don't think we should default to the dog. And it doesn't have to. It doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean you're soft. There's a difference between someone who plays hard and is just a dog. I don't know. This is just the crazy conversations that pop off in my household on a Wednesday night watching NBA basketball as that conversation took place in the pregame show. And I was like, what are we doing? We keep talking about this. And we'll continue to talk about it because that's what we do in this little league. The Rockets did end up beating the Warriors, but it is crazy how committed they are to making this series a hell of a lot like the 2022 series against the Memphis Grizzlies.
I saw that game and was like, oh, Jessica's right. This is the exact same series.
And to be fair, it's Chris and all his little Warriors on Twitter, not friends, but cohorts, who started making those connections early with how the series was going. And I thought that the Warriors were absolutely going to lose by 50 points last night when they were down by 29 at the half. Now, that said, another piece of it is the Dylan Brooks of it all. And we have Dylan Brooks saying the quiet part out loud, but the thing that maybe you don't say before you're about to face Steph Curry going into a season on the line or a series on the line game at home, a closeout game, I guess is what we call it. I was trying to come up with the right word for it. But Dylan Brooks after the game last night was like, yeah, I'm going for his thumb. Because everyone was like Zapruder filming, and everyone's like, oh, Warriors fans are psycho, looking at this thumb that's swollen. Of course you should. That's what everybody does. But I don't think you say it.
Yeah, you say it.
Okay, well, that's where he's a little cuckoo.
I mean, what do you mean?
A little cuckoo.
If it was a shoulder, yeah, I'm going for the shoulder. I'm going for all of it. Whatever aches on you at this point in the season, I'm going for it. I'm going to tug it. I'm going to bump it. I'm going to see it. I'm going to smack it. Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh, no, like that's what I'm about to do. What are we talking about? I'm going to put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Yes, Jessica. What are we talking about there? He's out there playing. He gets hot. He gets going. I am absolutely coming down, swiping hard on that thumb next time he touches the ball. Absolutely I am, and I don't care who knows it. That's not a problem.
I'm
that's
excited
basketball.
to see that next game. We don't get another game between the Timberwolves and the Lakers, and that was the biggest story of the evening because the Lakers have been eliminated.
A team gets eliminated, and that's not a big story. The Lakers get eliminated, and that's not the biggest story.
I said it is the biggest story. It's all anybody's going to talk about.
You said it in a mocking way, like I can't
because we talk a little bit too much about the Lakers, CJ.
Well,
I'm sorry.
This is a good time to talk about them, Jessica.
We're not all Los Angeles.
We should talk about them right now.
Yeah, I know.
Right now is the appropriate time.
But you want to know who we should talk about?
Who?
The Timberwolves, damn it. It frustrates me how we do this all the time because the Timberwolves played a horrible game and still ended up winning, eliminating the Lakers. Rudy Gobert is out here like Godzilla with 24 rebounds, 9 of them on the offensive end. And that is one of the only reasons the Timberwolves were able to win was because they got a stupid amount of offensive rebounds. They sure as hell weren't making their threes. They were 7 of 47 from the three-point line. That is 14%. And in the history of the NBA, when teams attempted 40 three-pointers and shot under 15%, they were 0-9 in NBA history, and they had previously lost those games by an average of 20 points. So not only are you supposed to lose that game, you're supposed to get blown out in that game. And the Timberwolves ultimately win. Gobert was awesome. There's nobody on the Lakers team that is within 4 inches of him because JJ Redick stays committed to not playing a center. And we knew this was an issue with the Lakers going into the postseason and the Lakers after they traded for Luka Doncic and everything attached to that. Yes, CJ, did you have something you wanted to interject?
You say stays committed to not playing a center like
Yes.
there's a center on that roster.
There's one.
Who?
His name is Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes? You want him to play Jackson Hayes?
No, I don't want Jackson Hayes to be in the league, CJ.
Okay, all right.
I'm old enough to remember a video of Jackson Hayes pushing his girlfriend out the door and looking like he spit on her. So, no, I don't want him to play Jackson Hayes.
All right.
Mark Williams is out here tweeting smiley face emojis last night.
How he fell that physical and played all those games
One of
for
life's
the
greatest
Hornets.
mysteries. One of life's greatest mysteries. You have LeBron James asked about it after the game, and he's out here essentially saying, like, he was asked specifically about the taxing nature of the style of play, of playing without a center for much of this season, and especially in the postseason. And he's like, my guy AD said what he needed, and then he was gone the following week, so no comment. We're still really doing this? We're still really doing this?
LeBron might trade LeBron, right? Like that's, he knows who the GM is.
You are down bad. Not even down bad. We now enter my favorite season, which is I have to talk to my family and sit down and evaluate my future of LeBron James. Which NBA Finals will it coincide with this time where that takes the lead story on all the sports shows? And it's like, and Timberwolves Cavs game 7 tonight in the NBA Finals. But let's talk about LeBron and his future at this exact moment. It is crazy that it's not crazy. It makes a hell of a lot of sense. A lot of people picked Lakers in 5, Lakers in 6, Lakers in 7. I mean, if you look at most prognosticators in the NBA, they picked the Lakers to win this series. Looking back on it, I'm not sure why.
Because they got
two of the best players in the
league.
world.
Yeah, so that's
one of all time, one in the moment. Luka looked tired. I know he's been injured. Sick. All the above.
Played an entire second half without coming out.
I think that might have something to do with it. The game started so weird because JJ Redick just left the press conference. Like he was doing his pregame availability and somebody asked him about, like, would he lean on assistance in this game? And he got really offended and took it as somebody questioning his experience and if his inexperience played a role in the decision to play all of his starters the entirety of the second half. And then he just got up and left. I was like, that was odd. Game started with some odd energy. And then he doubled down and you watch Rudy Gobert have 24 rebounds. And I say doubled down because there are some options, but then he's playing Maxi Kleber, who hasn't played in how long? A long time. I don't know the specificities of the playing time of Maxi Kleber this season, but it was a bizarre watch. And Chris Finch outcoached JJ Redick. Julius Randle was really, really solid in this series.
Well, you don't have size, Julius Randle, with the exception of that game 1 7 turnover performance. Julius Randle was gobbling those dudes up. So when you don't have size, there's not much you can do with somebody like Julius Randle. They started the game with Luka on Randle. And it's just like, okay, I guess that's your best option, but you're not going to be able to hold somebody with the offensive skill set that Randle has with Luka. And then Rudy Gobert is just able to feast down on the block. It reminded me a bit of like hockey, where it's just throw the puck at the goal and we'll see what happens. If they could get the shot up on the rim, one of the Timberwolves was absolutely going to have a good chance at getting the offensive rebound because there's just not enough size down there for the Lakers. And most of the time it was Rudy, and Rudy went back up with it and finished strong. So
Rudy dunk, Rudy dunk, Rudy dunk, Rudy board, Rudy dunk. He was 12 of 15 from the field. Anthony Edwards did not have a very good game. 15 points on 5 and 19 shooting. He was 0 of 11 from 3. But Adidas is calling him the Kingslayer. That's the name he's getting. Another 2 go down. LeBron is down. Luka is down. Last year it was Kevin Durant. Also had an opportunity, took down Jokic and Murray. He's taken out some big ones. It will depend who he faces in the next round, but he could have the opportunity to play Steph Curry and the Warriors. Do you have any feel on who will win between the Warriors and the Rockets? Like, do you have a strong feel?
Rockets.
You're still on Rockets.
I think I'm still on the Rockets. Ask me tomorrow. I'll go back and forth on all of these series, man. It's just fun having playoff basketball.
And it's been so good.
Good playoff basketball.
Good basketball.
Yeah.
Good storylines.
Yeah.
Like everything has come together.
Well, not all of them, but most of the series, decent number of the series, be it the Rockets and the Warriors, or Nuggets Clippers, or while it was going on, even Lakers Timberwolves, although that got done rather quickly, there were good stories and good games played by all. The hell, Bucks Pacers. That series ended in 5 also, but it was just a good series to sit down and watch. While the Pacers won that series 4-1, like the Timberwolves won 4-1, there were close games in there. You weren't sure that they were just going to pull these things out.
Yeah, it's been a fun time so far. We get more action tonight. Knicks Pistons at 6:30 Central Time. It's CJ's favorite. And then Nuggets Clippers, which has been really at 9 o'clock again. I know they're always going to be a 9 o'clock game, and it's just going to carry me to my early grave. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, Teresa Walker is going to join us. We have not spoken to her since the Grizzlies season came to an end. We'll get her thoughts on what the Grizzlies get into this offseason. We'll get her thoughts on last week's NFL draft and the grade she would give the Tennessee Titans, who had the number 1 overall pick, but plenty of picks outside of Cam Ward as well to dive into with Teresa after a quick break.
In honor of George Foreman, decided to do a pick 6 on 6 greatest heavyweight boxers of all time.
Number 4, my guy, Mike Tyson. There is no greater feat that I've had. Like, if I had my Mount Rushmore of things that I've accomplished in my life, the very first time I beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Bain drives.
Oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jarrett with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
I got some Cam Ward news for you, by the way.
Let me hear it.
You talk about being able to sell some jerseys. 7 minutes ago at his introductory press conference in Nashville, Warren Moon walks in. I give you permission to wear number 1.
Wow.
He hands him the number 1 jersey.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm going to give you permission to wear number 1. So he's going to have the number 1 Cam Ward jersey.
That's amazing.
We're rocking the Cam Ward number 1 Titans jersey.
That's amazing.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
This week, we're going to run down the hits and the misses from WrestleMania 41.
The main event, NXT title on the line, Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans. One of the greatest triple threat matches I've ever seen in my life.
I'm shocked.
And it made history because it's the first time there's 3 black men highlighting the NXT pay-per-view.
Okay.
That was dope too.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance.
But you get a lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Tripp has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. It is Thursday. That means it's time to catch up with one of our favorites, Teresa Walker, fresh off the wedding of the century, her son's wedding last weekend. Teresa, how are you? How was it?
It's
You're
not
there.
me muted.
You're there.
There we
You're
go.
good. You're good.
Okay. The beauty of having a wedding and getting to hear people talk about your child is, getting to see them through other people's eyes. And they were saying, his best man, the maid of honor, his new father-in-law, were all saying things. And it's like, that's my kid? Yeah, that's my kid. So, and we had a little bit of fun. We did a mother-son dance that started out as all, sentimental. Darius Ruckers, It Won't Be Like This for Long. And then we did a record scratch to Foo Fighters, Learn to Fly, which somebody walking in said, you've got empty nest syndrome. You're empty nesters. And I'm like, no, we launched our birdie.
Happily.
Successfully. Happily and successfully.
That's a beautiful thing. And it was such a unique experience for you because even though you are incredibly involved with the draft and the Tennessee Titans, you missed being at the draft live. Did you have any FOMO, or were you just so inundated in the joy and the love of watching your son get married that you barely even thought about it in real time?
Well, with the whole Shedeur Sanders thing, it was kind of tough to ignore through the weekend. That said, and the rehearsal actually, was finishing up right as the draft started. And one of the groomsmen's like, I've got a notification for when the Titans make their pick. I said, guys, don't worry. It's going to be Cam Ward. I am so sure it's Cam Ward. I wrote my story 2 weeks ago analyzing the fact that this is the third time in 15 drafts that the Titans are trying to get a franchise quarterback. It didn't work with Jake Locker. It didn't work with Marcus Mariota. Shoot, I didn't even go back to Vince Young, who had success for a year and a half until he ended up behind Kerry Collins. But, so it's like that was so stone cold of a lock that it was written and edited, ready to send out after we filed our coverage from Green Bay. Now, that said, it did become, how far will he drop? Yeah. And just trying to, because every year there's somebody, and watching Mel Kiper, die on that hill, so to speak. Yes. I mean, it's like he just had an emotional moment, and it's like, you can criticize NFL evaluation of quarterbacks all you want. Teams draft for need. I remember when they said about, maybe it was Vince Young and Lendale White, they had their new Steve McNair and Eddie George. And it's like, no, you don't. You sure don't. And we think of it as this. The NFL draft feels a lot like 2 a.m. at the bar. It's closing time. Beer goggle eyes, to use an How I Met Your Mother reference. And teams look at players sometimes and think, he's going to be Joe Montana. He's going to be Joe Namath. He's going to be our guy that gets us over the finish line to get us that Lombardi trophy. And too often it doesn't happen that way. So, but now the Titans have Cam Ward. The Browns have 14 million quarterbacks in their quarterback room. And I don't even want to think about what they're doing up there. But, here's the thing. The Titans now have a quarterback. They still have Will Levis. I thought there was a chance they might trade him, and they're like, he's in the room. And so it's like, I'm curious now to see how they work off of each other, because Levis was the starter. They are not declaring Cam Ward the starter. They're saying, come in and earn it. Well, everything we've seen of Cam Ward to this point, he's going to come in and try to earn that job. And that is probably the best thing the Titans could do, rather than just simply anoint him as our starting quarterback.
CJ, did you want to add something there?
Was just that was what I wanted to know.
right
What
there.
to do with the Cam Ward and Will Levis piece of it. Will Levis was somebody that the Titans really believed in until it was clear
They had
that
no choice, CJ.
Well, listen, there were people, me, who told them, hey, that was a terrible pick. There was no reason to take third round pick. Will Levis?
They traded. No, he was the 33rd pick overall.
Second
He was
round
the first
pick.
pick of the
I
second
knew-
round.
Teresa,
They traded up to get him.
I knew there was some threes involved in that damn pick.
Yes, you did.
But like
And
he's
he's
still there though. So what do
The
you
guy
do?
who took him though is gone.
Yeah.
And here's the interesting thing about that, CJ. The Titans asked Will Levis to go to California, work with Jordan Palmer, work on his footwork, his lower body movement, and try and work on that. And, they met with media on Monday and said, we're not declaring a starter right now. We're going to, that's the thing, competition. You got two young men, and, even if, and we'll be dissecting every set of reps. We're told rookie minicamp next week, 9th and 10th. And then the offseason program kicks into high gear at the end of May. And they've got a mini camp in June. We'll be logging who gets more snaps, who gets more throws, who's on the field first with the first team. But, all signs are set up to help Cam Ward win this job, but he is going to have to win it before the regular season starts. And that's the thing. It helps the Titans as well, because guess what? Either they've got a great backup, or they've got somebody that sees Will Levis in preseason games and like, you know what? I'll give you a fifth for him.
What about the skill position players around the Titans? Because some of that is the fact that, like, they were running out old DeAndre Hopkins, who was struggling a bit last year, and they didn't really have a ton of receiver production last year, and tight end production as well.
Well, that's the thing. They spent that's where they spent Saturday just piling up. They got a tight end the kid from Gunner, and I'm forgetting his last name.
Helm.
But Gunnar Helm, who was so tough that he sprained his ankle coming out of the blocks at the combine, still ran his 40. And he's the guy, if you saw those pictures of an ugly ankle back at the end of February, early March, that was that guy. They added speed. Everybody in the receiving corps who's not Tyler Lockett is now a fast guy. And yet you've got Tyler Lockett in there as a old head to help, teach that young group, and he was welcoming every one of the draft picks. So the attitude is right there in what you want from Tyler Lockett. You still have Calvin Ridley, Chimere DK from Florida, and I'm still learning some of these names. Alec Ayomanor from Stanford. One of the coaches at Stanford is Tank Williams, who played for the Titans. I covered Tank Williams back in the day, and he had nothing but great things to say about him. So it's like they got faster. As a wide receiving core, they got faster. And DK, the kid from Florida, is going to have a chance on special teams. So they got options. So you've got, and now I'm totally blanking. You've got Josh Wiley at tight end. You've got and he's a fellow cat lover like me, and now I cannot remember his name to save my life. But the veteran tight end essentially in that room. So they've gotten, and let's not forget, the offensive line, no, I'm not going to say for a third straight year it can't be worse than last year, because they keep finding yet another way to a new basement I don't know existed. But they did attempt to improve it by bringing in Dan Moore from Pittsburgh, Kevin Zeitler in at right guard. J.C. Latham's going to be at right tackle, his position he played in college. So it's like they've done some things to improve the protection and the skill positions around this young man. You still have Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears, and then they drafted, toward the end, another running back to add to the pile. So it's like, and they still found a way to get another pass rusher with Harold Landry released. So, the thing is, you go 3 wins, 3 straight seasons, you bad. You got holes. And when you have 3 players left from the 20 through 23 drafts, you've got holes in your roster that not one offseason, not one draft will fix. So the best thing out of this draft is that they moved down in the second, got an extra pick or so, and got another pick, a third pick inside the top 100. That's what's going to help them more than anything.
Teresa, what would you do if your child lost you and your job a combined $350,000? And I'll level it up where that child is not a kid, but is a 21-year-old grown man like Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbricht's son after the prank call situation with Shedeur Sanders. And we had to watch Jeff, Coach Ulbricht, have a press conference yesterday explaining his son's behavior, apologizing for his son's behavior, and ultimately between his fine and the team's fine, it's $350K price tag, Teresa.
As a parent of a young man, I have watched him do stupid stuff. I have not watched him do something that stupid. I am liquidating everything that child has that I have that because guess what? When you're a 21-year-old and your parents probably still have their names on most of your stuff. I am liquidating all of that I'm making you get a job. You're going to sign a note. You may not pay all of that $100,000 back to me, but you're going to pay a big chunk of that back. I'm rewriting my will, for God's sakes. I mean, if you've got brothers and sisters, you are out of the will. You are going to have to work your behind off to get things fixed. Why? Because you did something so monumental. Let's not be sure, and let's keep an eye on this guy. He may lose his job after this season, because right now it's a little tough to make a coordinator change like this. But after the season, all bets are off. And so daddy's status, and if you think he is going to have, he'll get immediately hired somewhere, guess what? People have long memories. And this is where I put this on Dad. You left your team computer out in the house so your kid could get his hands on the iPad and the number that was supposed to be high priority. I mean, you just keep that thing locked down. I keep my work laptop here, but guess what? I don't tell him my passcode. He can't use my face to log into my computer and do work stuff. So it's like, what was this dad thinking? First was my first reaction. How dare you leave that there? And then secondly, your kid is dumber than a brick, because he put your job security on the line, and it's a good thing he is 21, because that would get me jail time.
Yeah. He's an idiot. I will say,
yes.
Every time I hear the story and you're explaining it, I'm like, oh, certainly the kid is 13 years old. No, he's 21. So in terms of like, as a parent, figuring that you can, I don't know, maybe leave your laptop unlocked for a second with your grown ass son in the house, but instead he's operating like a literal child, like a tween, a little tweener who wants to go and make a prank call. Anyway, that story comes to an end.
We've all made prank calls. I mean,
Oh, I was a prank call queen.
Prank calls have been around since Prince Albert. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? But the thing is this, in this day and age, this is going to follow this young man for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Speaking of another football-related story that I would love to have come to a conclusion, but I fear we have only just begun. How much money would you pay to never have to hear about Bill Belichick and Jordon Hudson ever again?
Not where I thought you were going.
Where do you think I was going?
I thought we were doing more Aaron Rodgers talk. Where's he going to end up?
No, I'm done with that. We're not even mentioning that. Here's the thing, Teresa. This is a pop culture gossip story, but it is very much a sports story, because 73-year-old Bill Belichick is the head coach at the University of North Carolina. And when the University of North Carolina decides to put out a press release on official North Carolina, we don't call it stationery, but the emblem is there, and it comes from the university having to describe and explain away the situation that occurred on the CBS Sunday Morning interview. And then you have CBS coming out and saying, like, we're not in the wrong on any of this. It continues to be a story that ultimately keeps picking up wind. I just want to scream at everybody involved in this situation, the good old art of shut up. Because if they hadn't continued to talk about it, I don't think you and I are talking about it today.
True, but that's the thing. It's like sometimes you just you don't address something. And North Carolina, maybe it's letterhead, but they certainly put their name behind that. And looking at the footage, there was not a North Carolina person in the room. So this is a Bill Belichick project, yet North Carolina has been dragged into this, and they should have just stayed out of it. And 73-24. I have to admit, it's as somebody who's done conference calls and covered many a game that with the Titans against Bill Belichick, I have watched it with a lot of attention. And plus the fact that she's younger than my son by nearly 2 years, and he's older than me, and I'm not going to say by how much, but I wouldn't date him because he's too old for me. Oh. And yeah, and so it's just, yes, there's just all sorts of stuff going on here. And as somebody who's taken care of an elderly parent, if I were his children, I'd be very, very interested in this relationship, because I have 1,400 million questions about what's going on. And she's not a PR professional, let's just say.
She's not a PR professional, but she's very smart. And or I'll at least give credit that the way that this has worked, where she has become as big of a story as Bill Belichick. It's wild that we're talking about Bill Belichick. Mr.
Who wants to be
Grumpy,
he wants attention.
Grumpy Stiltskin himself, who rarely gave anything to the media, is suddenly a tabloid page 6 I mean, like, truly, it is not something that I would have guessed, and he's still coaching. It'd be one thing if he was not still coaching, but that's why this is a story. I've seen a lot of people be like, who cares? Who cares? He has a team to coach this fall.
Gary brought this up. I don't know if he brought it up on his show. He brought it up in passing. Bill Belichick wouldn't let Tom Brady do these types of things. And now here this 18, 19, how old is this chick? However old she is.
24.
Okay, this 20, her frontal cortex, not fully developed. Just throwing that out there.
It should be.
But she's a woman, so maybe it is.
It's not. I just looked it up. Everybody's brains develop between 25 and 30.
I could care less about the 73-year-old to 24-year-old age gap. I know that's an unpopular opinion in this story, but we see this happen all the time in a variety of industries. The only reason I find this intriguing is because she interrupted an interview in the middle of a story that goes on national television to a sweet little Sunday morning show and says, we're not talking about that in regards to where they met on a date. And now that is all anybody is talking about.
The sweetest morning show, right?
Yes.
Like that is the puffiest and the softest.
That entire interview with him
everything.
is, Teresa, you're a capital J journalist. It was a softball of an interview.
Yes, I mean, and I have the question of why was he wearing that navy sweatshirt with the mothball holes or whatever in it? Because it's like you're the North Carolina coach. It's like they can't get you into North Carolina gear. It's like hello, Bill. It's just there's more questions than answers. And it's like, if you're promoting your book, that's fine. You can wear what you want. But it's like he has presented this persona his entire career. And I mean, he's got former players chiming in on it. Ted Johnson's like, well, this is the Belichick I know. He doesn't care about his players. Yeah. So it's like that's the thing that is intriguing to me. The gossip part is the people who know him well, who literally went to football battle with him on the football field. And now some of them are starting to speak up. So it's like, there's a lot of things in the closet when you coach, like he was at New England for 24 years. And some of the door seems to be popping open, and he is the one who is spilling the tea. And guess what? His whole motive was to sell a book. Well, I don't know if the book is selling, but everybody else is making money off of him right now.
I wonder how the kids feel.
Yeah, like if I were the kids and I saw the story yesterday where someone went to realtor.com and discovered that she has reportedly gained $8 million in a real estate portfolio since they started dating. Those are the things I would be interested in if I was a kid.
Because you're out of the will.
Well, you're at least getting a significant smaller slice of the pie than what you were prior to her being involved. It's not like they're married either, but it feels like they're business partners at this point. Like, I don't know. It's just wild. It just, to see his life not controlled. I don't want to put that out there. That's not what I'm trying to say. But somebody have that much control of certain aspects of Bill Belichick's life right now while he is still a working employee, a high-paid college football coach in a billion-dollar industry is a crazy thing that has transpired over the last few weeks.
It is, and that's the thing, because this is the guy who, we're on to Cincinnati. Next question. We're not talking about that. I mean, the shortest answers, and here he is in front of a camera where it's one reporter. He consented to do that interview to pump his book and try to sell copies, and and that's the thing. The statement that was released, whoever wrote it, mentioned, well, we met on a flight to Florida, and it's like, so why is that such a bad answer? Why is that? And guess what? If he just simply says we met on a flight to Florida, and she doesn't interrupt,
I probably didn't watch the interview on Sunday.
That thing.
I probably did not even care. Anyway, Teresa, before we let you go, real quick, Grizzlies offseason. Season came to an end over the weekend. We had exit interviews. It's an interesting offseason ahead. Your biggest question going into this Grizzlies offseason is what?
That's a good one. I've thought about this an awful lot. I don't think coach matters as much as who they put around the core. And is it still Tripp? Is it still Dez? and is it still Ja? And for all the talk of dogs on Sunday, this is a team that was, it was found to be lacking. And, the Lakers result last night, not surprised. Not surprised. Think about it. They went out and got Luka, thought everything was fine, and oops, they're out in the first round. So it is not easy to win in the postseason. And the Grizzlies, I do agree with what Zach said on Sunday, is that they're not close. They've got things to fix, and it does feel like they're much further away than they were 2 years ago.
Teresa, appreciate you as always. We will see you next time. Consensual heart hands, congratulations to you and your beautiful family on your wedding. We'll see you next week. Bye. That was Teresa Walker of the Associated Press. You can catch her on our show every Thursday. We will take a quick break. The show has already started, but we got a countdown clock to the real show, which is our draft today. Yep, that's what we're saying. The conversation of the week has been who would win in a fight between 100 men versus one gorilla. And so we are drafting animals you would like to see 100 men try to fight. That's what I'm calling it. Animals you would like to see 100 men try to fight. Not necessarily win. And we'll get into what is a win in this situation. What is a win in war? We'll get into it with a draft when we come back.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball. But the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
I got some Cam Ward news for you, by the way.
Let me hear it.
You talk about being able to sell some jerseys. 7 minutes ago at his introductory press conference in Nashville, Warren Moon walks in. I give you permission to wear number 1.
Oh, wow.
He hands him the number 1 jersey.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm going to give you permission to wear number 1. So he's going to have the number 1 Cam Ward jersey.
That's amazing.
We're rocking the Cam Ward number 1 Titans jersey.
That's amazing.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
This week, we're going to run down the hits and the misses from WrestleMania 41.
The main event, NXT title on the line, Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans. One of the greatest triple threat matches I've ever seen in my life.
I'm shocked.
And it made history because it's the first time there's 3 black men highlighting the NXT pay-per-view.
Okay.
That was dope, too.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second
took
time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance
But
of
you get a
sticking.
lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think
do?
you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
In honor of George Foreman, decided to do a pick 6 on 6 greatest heavyweight boxers of all time.
Number 4, my guy, Mike Tyson. There is no greater feat that I've had. Like if I had my Mount Rushmore of things that I've accomplished in my life. The very first time I beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back. It is draft day. I am realizing when I posed this in our group chat, I said we could draft animals 100 men would lose in a fight to. So I think that's how we have to frame it.
Well, we can frame it the other way.
You good with framing it?
Well, now
animals you would like to see 100 men try to fight?
That does change.
It changes things because then it can get a little silly.
Yeah.
Then it's not so much like who kills the most men in this fight. Again, why are the men choosing to fight an animal besides the point?
Because we men. Don't appropriate my culture, Jessica, please.
So sorry.
All right,
I'm so
men.
Sorry.
Jacob, you know it.
It does vastly change the draft.
Also, just stipulations here.
Yes.
We're not going into the water, are we?
Oh, we are.
Oh, we are.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we are.
Land, sea, and air.
So, okay, where's this? Because
in my draft,
in this draft, where's the fight taking place? Is it taking place
depends.
wherever the
animal's
habitat is?
Yep.
So no matter what, the animal has home field advantage.
Home court advantage because they're the one.
That changes everything.
Because they're the one versus 100.
That changes everything.
So they get home court advantage.
All right. Okay. Good. I wish I had known that. I would have prepared a little bit differently. But it does change. Initially, there was not a clear number one. Now
you have a clear number
one. There's a clear number one.
Interesting.
A very clear number one.
Okay.
And I think pretty damn clear number two also.
Okay.
Yeah.
The draft is animals you would like to see 100 men fight in a battle of 100 versus 1 in honor of the 100 men versus a gorilla debate. Let's see who picks first in today's draft. I don't think we're on horses. This just keeps getting more and more exciting.
Are we doing anything for the Derby? You know, it's Derby this weekend.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
We'll pick one tomorrow.
Why is the white chick on the white horse?
Yeah.
And you know that black one's going to win.
Yeah.
Shout out to the black horse.
I think he's brown.
Is he brown?
He looks brown.
All right. Bad vision. Shout out. What is he doing with his arms there?
Pump it up.
Let's go. I will go clear number one because it's the animal has home field advantage. If you get people in water, they are severely outmatched. And if you get them in deep water, what the hell are they supposed to do? And we've got monsters in the ocean. And we've got things that eat the monsters in the ocean. Things like orcas, also known as killer whales. They are monsters. They are monster eaters, excuse me. Cute little cuddly things. We all remember Free Willy.
Baby beluga in the deep blue sea.
That's a beluga.
You're right.
That's not a killer whale. You know what eats belugas?
Killer whales.
Killer whales. Belugas are huge. And killer whales just come through and chomp them up. Have you seen what they do to seals and sea lions? They just play with those things. They bat them up in the air. Even if the fight took place on the beach, once a killer whale comes up, because this is how killer whales hunt, the prey is laying on the beach, killer whales create a wave, a wave to pull that animal into the water. Once it gets into the water, all bets are off. 100 men versus one killer whale in the killer whale's habitat, 100 men lose immediately. Can you imagine swimming around there as this killer whale is just chomping through people?
No.
Shout out to White Gladys.
I don't think the men could even hold on to anything on the killer whale to try to slow it down.
No, because the killer whale is much too large.
It's a great pick. I thought you were going to go with a great white shark.
No, those are small and
but those are smaller, and eventually
you punch
enough
a great
people
white,
could.
Yeah, you could get a great white.
But a killer whale, I think, is unbeatable.
No, you can't handle it.
I think we have to change the conversation. 100 men versus a killer whale.
Yeah, no.
Okay. My number one choice, I'll be curious if this is your clear number two option. If we're doing home court advantage, give me the frozen tundra. So the men are already cold. The men are already having to figure out how to run around on ice and snow. And they are fighting a polar bear. A polar bear, which is arguably the scariest of the bears. You can attempt to think what you would do against a grizzly bear. You can attempt to think what you could do against a brown bear, a black bear. There's no hope against a polar bear. I watched a video that went viral in Alaska this past week of a dude who was shooting at a polar bear completely undeterred, and the man had to jump on a, what's the ice version of a jet ski? Snowmobile. And the only way he got like this much space between him and being able to zoom away from the polar bear. And it was terrifying. I thought I was going to watch this man die via polar bear. Polar bears are huge. They are feisty. They are stone cold killers. And I think, because this has become the thing, like how many men live in this proposed fictitious fight, I think like 80 get wiped out by the polar bear before they finally take it down.
That mother bleeper is 1,700 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a ton plus with paws the size of our legs. That's just a paw. It's huge. Yeah, that's a good pick.
And if it's just men with their hands.
Yeah, all you got is
everything's hands.
All you got is your hand.
I don't know how they are like delivering blows in the thickness of a polar bear.
So we're in the tundra.
We're in the tundra.
If a man sees a rock, can you pick up the rock?
You gonna do a snowball fight?
You're
thinking a rock.
I'm just asking.
Now we're adding really specific rules.
I'm just asking because
so you can't bring in weapons, but perhaps you can use
weapons of the environment.
Yeah, sure.
And if the animal sees the rock,
the animal can also do that. Yeah, fair game. That polar bear is gonna go bowling with those men.
That's good. That's good to know because I got an animal now that's up here.
Okay.
I won't take it here, but it's up here. I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I'll go crocodile. Again, you're in the water. The water is going to be murky. You're not going to be able to see the crocodile, but the crocodile can see you. And it's got basically what amounts to his armor for skin. I'm not sure how much punching you can do to like slow it down. I'm not sure how much punching you could do to like crack the skin either. Mm-hmm. Right? So your best bet is to what? Go for the eyes? But you can't see the eyes because the murky water, but those eyes can see you. 100 men in the now trying to fight a crocodile. A crocodile.
Okay.
Give it to me.
I'm so grateful.
You're welcome.
That you didn't take my pick.
What was it?
Give me a hippopotamus.
That's
and
a good
I
one.
saw within the gorilla debate, some woman was like, why don't we just have them fight a hippopotamus? It's not like they can do anything on land.
That's a tank.
I'm sorry.
That's a
Can't
tank.
do anything on land. It can run at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour on land.
That's a tank that hates you.
3,000 pounds of hate. That hippopotamus, and the hippopotamus can function in the water and on land. Mm-hmm. So if you think you're jumping in a puddle to try and avoid the hippopotamus, he's coming in with you, and he will kill you with his giant teeth. Do not be deflected by his cute little ears. He'll look at you, you'll be like, oh, little hippo. Arr. Murder.
I think those are I think they kill the most people.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Anything.
They kill an estimated 500 people a year.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And in this fight, they're killing 100.
And also, again, what are your fists going to do with this hippo?
Nothing.
There's nothing that 100 fists can do with this hippo.
They're so big that if they're like hip checking you, they could take you out. Like they could break bones in a way that you do not survive the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hippo. That's a damn good pick.
I thought so.
Nobody surviving the crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody surviving the killer whale. I don't think anybody's surviving the hippo. I'm not sure about the polar bear. Maybe 10 people survive the polar bear. Maybe polar bear just gets tired and it's like, okay. Maybe.
We might be being generous.
Maybe. I said 10 people, so the polar bear gets 90 of them. All right, next pick.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure what the hell you would do with an elephant.
Yeah.
Help me with that. A bull elephant?
Yeah.
With the tusk and the trunk and the mean spirit? All right, 100 people go at this elephant. Bet 100 dudes, because dudes are stupid. Go at this elephant. So what are we going to do? 10 dudes go to grab one leg, 10 grab the other leg, 10 grab the back, 10 grab the other one. So that's 40 dudes right there that are just held up, holding on for dear life to these legs and trying to mobilize it. But again, how are you going to get to that leg? I would assume that the elephant just picks you up, shakes you off, and then steps on you like the ant that you are. I'm just not sure what the hell 100 dudes would do against an elephant with nothing but their fists and their teeth. Like you can bite these animals,
I
but
don't think you're getting through.
you're not penetrating that skin, I don't
Do
think.
you know elephants have 40,000 muscles? Do you know how many humans have?
350.
600.
Okay.
That's
That's
bones.
bones. Nah. I
mean,
flunked
they'll
out of
break
pharmacy
those
school.
too.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely crushing those. Give me the elephant.
That's a good pick. It's a very good pick. All right, with my next pick, I am going to take a musk ox. Give me the musk ox.
Okay.
Because there's also a revenge factor here. For a long time, humans have been using the phrase strong as an ox. And I think oxes have been listening. Oxen have been listening.
They have.
And they're like hell you are.
Yeah.
So there's an element where they have something to prove, and they will just headbutt you to death. He'll just keep running and gunning. You could probably eventually, like, I'm not saying this is a
Wear it
100-man
down.
wipeout. There
Yeah.
could be a wear down situation
Just get
here.
tired of it.
But he's taken out a lot
Yeah.
before you get to that point.
Yeah,
So give me the ox.
I agree. I think the first 5 picks are all wipeouts entirely.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the native
Yeah.
in the habitat. I think once we get here, it becomes all right. 100 dudes will win. How many of these dudes are going to survive though? Is the question. I think that muskox pick is a great pick. I will take. Is there a time limit on the fight?
Do you want there to be a time limit on the fight?
Listen, the fights go rounds.
Are we calling the fight?
I didn't know if we were doing
An hour.
that type of thing. An hour.
An hour.
So that allows for some animals to go someplace, rest, and then
Yeah.
come back and get it popping again if we're in
Yeah.
the native habitat. And if that's the case, give me a jaguar.
It's good.
Jaguar, because they can get high enough into the trees to where even if you climb up there to fight them, they're knocking you off the tree, they're biting you, they're scratching you, they're clawing you all the way up as you try and get up the tree. And once they get down on ground, they are agile, they are fierce, and they have a bite force where they hunt caiman, which is alligators, crocodiles in the Amazon, by simply jumping out of the tree, landing on top of them, and crushing their skull with their jaw. Like, come on, man. That jaguar is going to do some damage, especially if you give it an hour.
Yeah.
An hour to hide and then come back. And the camouflage as well? Yeah, give me the jaguar. All we got are these? No, the jaguar.
Strike, retreat. Just over and over
Yeah.
until everyone's picked off.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the gorilla because we want to see it now. Like, it's been put out into the universe, and you're seeing zoologists essentially say, like, yeah, you'd eventually take the gorilla down, but many would be lost. How many? I think the majority. I think at least 50% are lost in this battle, and I want to see it happen. All these men out here saying they could do it. Show me. Prove it. Prove it.
Harambe didn't die for this, y'all.
No. And the ghost of Harambe is going to
Put some respect.
lead that gorilla to the promised land.
Come on, man. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Since you went gorilla, I had this thought when I first read the initial tweet and thought it was dumb as hell. Gorillas are more peaceful than other primates also. So I think initially the male gorilla would be like, oh no, let me get out of here. And he kind of try and scurry away. And then once he realized there was no place for him to go, the fight would pop off. Chimpanzees aren't doing that. Chimpanzees want to fight you. They don't like you. They don't.
One chimpanzee?
One chimpanzee. It's more aggressive than a gorilla.
Okay.
Chimpanzees hunt.
Yes.
And they hunt using weapons. That's why I was asking about the
They're
weapon
making
thing.
spears.
They if we're just in the jungle, just bopping about, and all right, here's 100 dudes. Wait a second, I got this branch. I'm whacking you with this branch. They have the strength of 1.5 dudes. They got a tremendous bite force as well.
Yeah.
Super intelligent also. They can also climb and get back down. Yeah, give me the chimpanzee. I'm not saying 100 dudes wouldn't win. I'm saying that 100 dudes aren't going home.
Many would fall.
100 dudes go in. 100 dudes don't come back out. Chimpanzee.
Okay. I have a question.
What?
Before I make this last
Go
pick.
ahead.
How would the men fight in the air?
They don't. They're on the ground.
They're on the ground?
They're on the ground. And you've given an hour. You've given an hour. In a cage in their native habitat.
I genuinely, so a part of me wants to take
an eagle,
a harpy eagle, the strongest bird in the world, with the idea that swoops down,
pick them up.
I don't think it can pick up a human.
Oh,
I don't think they can pick up that large.
Some eagles pick up goats.
How heavy?
I'm pretty sure. Like a bald eagle can pick up a mountain goat, and a mountain goat is.
No, they can only do 1/3 to 1/2 of their own body weight.
Okay.
So I think it's a small goat. Okay. It looks like, the biggest eagles can generally lift like 11 to 13 pounds. These men are big. So the eagle's only chance is to like peck their eyes out and have them bleed to death, which I'm not saying couldn't happen, but I think enough men, because there's 100 of them, they would be able to grasp and wrestle the eagle to the ground and ruin its wings, and then it can't fly back in the sky.
No fighting. So that's why I didn't take a bald eagle.
Logistically, I just don't think it's there. Yeah. So I will take... I need to do quick research.
I really am surprised that we don't have more water animals on here.
I'm going to take an anaconda.
I don't like that pick at all.
You don't like that pick?
I don't like that pick at all. Because anaconda...
You don't think men would be terrified of watching a couple get squeezed and then the fear would almost shock them to the point?
I'm not sure how quickly the anaconda could squeeze somebody to death.
They're 5 miles per hour on land.
Like, but
so that's slow.
How fast do they squeeze you to death? And while they're squeezing, you can be punching, and I know you can penetrate anaconda's skin with like your teeth and your fists and really mess them up and break their neck.
They can also just swallow you whole.
But it takes them a while to swallow you.
They're 100 men, you would like see them getting like he'd regurgitate at some point.
And so swallow and then
yeah. Okay, that's a bad one.
Take anaconda down. Okay. Take anaconda down.
Okay.
I mean, giant squids are out there. Various sharks and whales are still out there. Octopus is out there. You got the lions and the tigers are out there as well. Bison out there. Moose out there.
I'm thinking about a Komodo dragon.
I thought about a Komodo dragon.
I think I'm going to take a Komodo dragon.
Okay.
Not only from a terrifying standpoint, but their venom immobilizes its prey. Like the poison stuns you. And I am not sure the logistics of how long it takes for that poison to leave you in a position where you can no longer move. But I'm envisioning a quick attack of I mean, it gets your ankle, you're dead. Like it doesn't matter where it bites, it just has to create contact.
Yes. But I think it's too slow.
They're also fat. 12 miles per hour?
I'm not talking about like running after you.
You're talking about like the reflexes.
Going,
the agility of a Komodo dragon.
I think they'll get 5, and by then dudes are on top of it, piling it down, weighing it down, holding it down as the other ones.
I just didn't want to take another cat because I feel like jaguar, even though it's obviously so different from a tiger or a lion,
it's still a big cat.
It's still a big cat.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting just like a polar bear. You could take a grizzly bear. I wouldn't want that either, but that just feels like another bear. So I'm trying to add some variety.
Well, go to the water. You don't have any aquatic animals.
You're right. I'll take the great white shark.
You'll take great white?
I'll take the great white shark.
All right.
You wanted me to take a squid?
Giant squid.
A giant squid?
Mm-hmm.
How fast are they?
It doesn't matter. They're in the water. And they've got 10 appendages, don't they? And they're giants. They're monstrous.
Giant squid are not considered dangerous to humans. I think they're pacifists.
But they've got to fight. Like, isn't this the whole point?
A Humboldt squid is notorious for its aggression.
So, I also said octopus.
See, I think if it's a squid, it has to be a pod. I don't think a squid can do it on its own.
On its own?
I don't think any of those can do it on its own.
I also thought about kangaroo. Thought about various aggressive little animals. Shout out to honey badgers, wolverines, Tasmanian devils.
Yeah.
Thought about those, but they're just too small.
I tried to think of like an ostrich.
Ostrich would be an interesting
scary.
one. They could kick you.
And
peck you as well.
I thought about doing like a mosquito. You and I talked about this before the show, if we were going insects. Specifically, a mosquito infected with West Nile, but the mosquito would die because, again, too many bites, too much blood, it would explode.
Yes, and eventually one of those dudes got to be able to squish it, don't they?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Like, does a specific kind of bee or a wasp or a hornet run out of stings?
Wasps and hornets don't.
They only have one.
Wasps and hornets
Wasps and
don't.
hornets
They can
don't.
sting for forever. But you're asking that wasp or hornet to do a whole lot of stinging. How many stings would it take to kill one grown man? And then you have to multiply that by 100 to get at 100 of them. And eventually, you get squished.
I do want Komodo dragon.
Rhino?
Take it out. No, I want great white shark.
Okay.
I think we're giving too much credit to the men in the water being able to figure out how to treading water and getting your hands on a
How much
great
do
white
great whites
shark.
weigh?
They're massive.
I don't think they are.
Yes, they are.
I think that's a movie thing.
They're 2,400 pounds.
Oh, that is massive.
They're huge.
That is massive.
They're huge. Men are smaller. So specifically a female great white shark. And I think it's important that these men have to face a woman in some capacity. 100 men. My favorite of the tweets was like, 100 men versus one therapy session.
The therapist wins.
100 men versus facing your problems head on.
The problems win.
But then I also did see 100 women versus one flat tire. And I was like, ooh, I feel targeted.
You can change a flat.
I feel targeted.
You can't change it. You can change a flat.
I could try. I could try. One of the women could.
Somebody.
I think like half of women can change tires. Anyway, this was a fun exercise.
Was it?
Actually, it was. I enjoyed it. Thanks.
PETA hates you right now, by the way.
I'm saying the animals are winning.
What? They don't promote animal abuse.
We were friends with them for a second.
We
They
were.
emailed
We
us.
were for
We
a
had
second.
contacts.
We were good.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do some movie news from the week and get on with our Thursday after a quick break.
100 dogs versus Mike Vick. Who wins?
The dog. Generational trauma.
Bain drives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jarrett with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Let's go, go! Let's go!
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're gonna get seeded this. So who's gonna actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
I thought Penny was smart to handle this the way he handled it. He expressed frustration with the system, the chaotic nature of it. The price hike on eggs ain't got nothing on the price hike on basketball players. The same dude who cost you $150,000 last summer is costing you $500,000 right now. I understand his sentiment, but he stopped well short of criticizing PJ Haggerty.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second
took
time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance
But
of
you get a
sticking.
lot of stuff. You get a parade. I
They
think you
do?
go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It is time for a little Theater Thursday. I forgot to send this in, but CJ, do you intend to go see Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
I've heard it's incredible.
Good.
I think I'm going to go see it.
Okay.
I'm back on my movie business.
All right.
I'm inspired by movies again.
Have you seen
Not that I'm ever not, but like I want to go see movies in theaters.
Have you seen Black Widow? Have you seen Captain America?
Yes.
And the
Winter Soldier?
And the Winter Soldier
Yes.
TV show?
No.
Okay.
Do I have to? I was told I don't have to see anything.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's what you were told, then you got it. Marvel does a good job of connecting these things for people like me who see everything, but telling the story in a way for people like you who have seen very limited stuff. So they do a good job in their movies of doing both things.
Okay. AI, which generally knows nothing. Jacob, stop talking. I know, I heard him. We'll do it.
All right. Because they are paying.
Black Widow is the one that I'm supposed to watch before. I have this like voice in the back of my head like, Sonic Mailbag, Sonic Mailbag. So I guess we have to do the Sonic Mailbag before we get into the rest of Theater Thursday.
Okay.
Yes? Do we have our question of the day?
It's in the rundown, yes.
I didn't see it. It's not in bold. Sonic Mailbag question of the week comes from William Matthews. Who is your pick to win the NBA Finals this year? I keep changing my mind on this. I really do. I think it's the Thunder. I'm staying with it. I could look really goofy in the next round with either the Nuggets or the Clippers, and suddenly staring down a situation where the Thunder at times looked like world beaters against the Grizzlies. And I know I should not be measuring a team's ultimate ability to win a championship based on what they did in that series particularly. I just think they're so deep, and I think they have the players to make it happen and to prove a lot of people wrong. And just landscape-wise, looking at the vulnerabilities of other teams. Now, they could get to the finals, face the Celtics, and we could just be looking at the Celtics winning again. That's probably the most logical pick at this point. Who would your pick be, CJ?
Cavs.
Oh, okay.
Cavs
So you think the Cavs would beat the Celtics?
Yes, I think the Cavs are deep. They're a tremendous defensive team, great rebounding team. They can score the ball in the paint and stop you from scoring in the paint, which means nothing for the Celtics. They're not trying to go in the paint at all. But I think that three-point defense that the Cavs have is good enough to cause the Celtics problems. And they've got a dude in Donovan Mitchell where all bets are off, game on the line. You go out there and get something for yourself or for somebody else, and he can at an elite level. So that would be my pick, and I guess they'll play the Nuggets.
Oh,
I'll say the Nuggets beat the Clippers, and then they're good to go from there. If the Clippers win, then I'd have to rethink who I'd have coming out of the West. But if the Nuggets win, I'm just gonna ride the Nuggets.
You're riding with the Nuggets with an interim coach
Yeah.
with their depth issues and saying it doesn't matter.
You say interim coach like Jokic isn't out there calling the
Oh,
shots.
I know.
Yeah.
So with Coach Jokic.
With Coach Jokic.
And MVP Jokic. I mean,
Yes.
he's not going to win MVP. Shea's going to win MVP.
Well,
but
he's a former MVP.
former MVP. And possible finals MVP.
Yeah.
He's going to be the first player coach to win.
Since Bill Russell.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm intrigued to see how it all pans out.
To get there, I don't think they win. I think the Cavs win, but I think the Nuggets, should they take care of business against these Clippers, I'll take them.
Can I tell you about something that really means a lot to me that happened today?
What?
The Tony Award nominations came out this morning. I had CBS, not Sunday morning. Oh God, Bill Belichick cannot leave my brain. I had the CBS morning show with Gayle King on at 7:30 because I was told that they were going to drop the nominations, or at least the main nominations, at 7:30. And instead, it was a story about sexploitation. And I sat through it and I waited. But then I finally got to see what I came for, and that was the official nomination of Audra McDonald for Best Actress this year, a category that I have been tracking since we got the rundown of the shows that were going to come out and the actresses who were going to star in them. But for Audra McDonald to get nominated for Gypsy, she becomes the singular most nominated performer in Tony Awards history with 11 nominations. You sports people, I can't even put this into sports. This is bigger than Michael Jordan. This is bigger than LeBron James. This is sheer domination over and over. And if she wins, she will win a 7th Tony Award, which is insane. And she was nominated for Gypsy, and it's awesome. I am so excited for the Tony Awards. Everything that I wanted to happen came true. Everything that I cared about as it pertained to the Tony Awards came true.
What
and
else came true?
The bulk of it is
Just
the race
Gypsy
for
love?
best act. No,
Okay.
it's the race for best actors between Nicole Scherzinger of the Pussycat Dolls, who is in Sunset Boulevard, Audra McDonald, who is in Gypsy, and then also the two actresses in Death Becomes Her, Jennifer Samard and Megan Hilty. And there is like a very small trickle of the Jennifer Samard hive who is saying she could steal this from both Nicole Scherzinger and Audra McDonald, which has widely been viewed as a two-woman race since this whole thing began. All four of them are incredible. Their performances are like the reason I love theater. I was able to see them over the holidays. Beautiful thing. Love it.
All right, let's go.
Thanks.
Rank them 4-1. You got the vote. So, and it's ranked voting. Who's coming in fourth?
God.
Yeah, who's coming in
Megan
fourth?
Hilty.
Why?
Because I'm being forced to put someone in fourth.
Okay, who's third?
This is going to be controversial.
Okay. That's why we do this. Clip it, Luke. Get ready. Let's
No,
make
don't-
these.
There's
let's
no
make
one to
these
clip it for who? The five of
theater
us?
Nerds.
Yesterday,
Let's go.
the theater nerds were so mad because Pop Crave, you know, the pop
Yeah,
culture Twitter account, Pop Crave tweeted out like Tony nominations drop tomorrow, and all the theater people were like, "Stay out of family business. Please stay out of family business, Pop Crave. Like, we don't want you here. Name 5 Sondheim shows, Pop Crave. You
Name
can't.
what?
5 Sondheim shows.
Who?
Stephen Sondheim. one
Okay,
of the
that's
greatest.
an actual person.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. See, too deep. Pop Crave wouldn't know. You don't know. Most people don't
But
know.
we're not doing this for
Fine.
me. We're doing this
I'm
for the
putting
theater
Audra
nerds.
McDonald in third, and I feel terrible about
Why
it.
is she
I feel
third?
terrible about it. I feel like I have to like justify it up and down. Audra McDonald is one of my favorite musical theater performers of all time, playing one of the most iconic roles of all time in Gypsy, Mama Rose. She's got the whole moment. She kills it. She crushed it. I love everything about her performance. It's just how much I love the other two performances from this year.
What was good
That's it.
about her performance?
Audra McDonald.
Yeah.
It's the first time that a black woman has played Mama Rose, and it added a depth and a vulnerability. And she's not a traditional belter. So you know, like when someone, do you know what belting is?
Well,
When someone sings with their chest
Yeah.
as opposed to their head voice. Like Audra McDonald is a true soprano, and so she sang the role in a way that is different than what you're used to hearing it. But it's like it doesn't detract from it at all. Some people were curious and honestly like a little judgy from the beginning. Like I'm not sure that she can sing this particular score, and she can sing anything. She's freaking Audra McDonald, and it sounds beautiful. They did a Tiny Desk concert with
I remember
Gypsy.
that.
It came out last week, and it's so good. And it's her and Joy Woods who plays her daughter in the show, and she was nominated for a Tony as well. It's a really wonderful show. Gypsy is just like hot take. Not my favorite show of all time. It's a lot of people's favorite show of all, or one of their like Mount Rushmores of Broadway musicals. It's not, and so that might play a part in it as well. That said, Jennifer Samard in Death Becomes Her. No one probably knows her name watching the show because she's the one who's not mainstream of that whole group. Like Megan Hilty has been on television. She was in Smash. She gained a lot of notoriety. She also played Glenda in Wicked. She was the second version of that. So there's like some familiarity with her. Audra McDonald crosses multiple genres with movie, TV, theater. Nicole Scherzinger is the Pussycat Dolls. Like, people know who Nicole Scherzinger is from pop space. Nobody knows who Jennifer Samard is. I've been obsessed with her for years, and I feel like she's finally starting to, like, crawl out of the only deep-cut theater knowers love her, and this would be a really big moment. But I still think Nicole Scherzinger should win. She's my number one.
All right.
It was fantastic.
There we go.
There you go.
Good stuff. Any EGOT? People want to know who's chasing that EGOT
Okay.
this year.
No chasing of the EGOT this year, and there was some thought that we would have someone chasing the Triple Crown, which is the EGOT without the Grammy. So the Triple Crown in acting, but Kieran Culkin, who won the Emmy for Secession in the past year, won the Oscar for A Real Pain. He had a chance to be nominated for his role in Glengarry Glen Ross, and he didn't get nominated. So he would have been chasing, like if he had been nominated and won, he'd be the fastest Triple Crown winner since the 60s. Since Paul Scofield, who did it in a 7-year period in the 60s.
Shout out to
And everyone was
Scofield.
like, Kieran Culkin is going to be the guy. Well, he's not. Still plenty of opportunities ahead, but no EGOT chasers.
Did you see
this year.
Kieran in his role?
No, I did
Okay.
not.
All right. You
No.
see any of the lead actors who got
No,
nominated?
because it costs like $1,200 to go see these people. It's insane.
But
It's
you saw all
absolutely
four of
insane.
the women.
Yeah, because musicals are, I mean, don't get me
Because
started on ticket prices.
those are all musicals.
Yeah, those were all. So that's
Okay.
Best Actress in a Musical.
Got you.
Leading actor in a musical, Tom Francis for Sunset Boulevard, but many think Jonathan Groff will win for Just in Time, which is something I did not see. So you're talking Tony Awards does plays and musicals, and the acting categories are separated.
Okay.
So like best performance by a leading actor in a play is George Clooney, Good Night and Good Luck. And then a bunch of people you probably don't know. And then this guy named Cola Scola, who is one of the funniest people to ever exist, who is widely considered to win. It's called Oh Mary. Yeah, that's the Tonys. Are you excited for them?
No.
I'm going to have a Tony party. Okay, great. You
Let
want
me
to know what's on Monday?
Wait, where are the Tonys?
In New York.
Oh, what network can I watch the Tonys?
CBS.
Okay. All right. Are you really going to do it? If you do a Tony's party, I'll come through.
Okay.
I'll come through.
It'll be a party of
My
like
wife,
4.
My wife loves that stuff.
I just love it because they do performances.
Yeah, well, she loves the plays also. She wants to be a Broadway queen. So yeah, we'll come through. I've never been to a Tony party.
It's like an Oscar party.
I've been to one of those.
Okay. It's like a Super Bowl party for me. Super Bowl party of chess. Last but not least, movie news that came out this week. When I said I'm so invested in movies and seeing movies in person, I am already putting a movie on my calendar that I want to see opening night. It is called Weapons. Have you seen the preview? I know you're not a trailer person, but have you seen any of the discourse around this movie?
It's the creepy movie with the children.
With the kids.
Haven't we made enough creepy kid movies?
Apparently not.
All right,
this
let's
movie
go.
is supposed to be incredible. Its tagline is, last night at 2:17 a.m., every child from Mrs. Gandy's class woke up, got out of bed, went downstairs, opened the front door, walked into the dark, and they never came back. You want to know how big this movie is?
How big is it?
Jordan Peele fired his management team because they did not secure the rights to this movie. It's directed by Zach Kreger. New Line ended up paying $38 million for the script. The marketing campaign has been amazing, and finding out that like Jordan Peele fought for this. And because Jordan Peele didn't get it, he ended up making that movie that's coming out, Him, the quarterback one that the trailer recently just came out. I'm just telling you, Weapons. The only movies that have sent me like running to the movie theater lately have been horror movies. And I wouldn't even call myself an adult horror movie stan.
What other horror movie sent you there?
Oh my God, the one with Nicolas Cage. Why can't I think of the name of it? Long Legs.
Okay.
Because they were calling it the scariest movie of all time. It wasn't.
Yeah,
But I didn't want it to be spoiled. And then with Sinners, it was like, Sinners is technically a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta go.
Okay.
And now with Weapons, I have to go. They're
right.
saying it could be an allegory.
For what?
School shootings.
That's what I thought. Okay,
Yep.
just making sure.
So I'm fascinated.
Just making sure.
By the layers of it. Have you watched any movies lately?
No, Thunderbolts is coming out. We're going to go see that. We'll probably go this weekend. And the scary movie, Final Destination, the new Final Destination. I'm not sure when
Bloodline.
I'm not sure when it's coming out.
End of May, I think.
I can't. That's
See,
the one.
I'll probably go see
That's
that
the
in
one.
theaters.
That's
What
like,
is this?
I'm excited to. I don't watch trailers because I don't want anything ruined.
But you watched
And
it did you see it at Sinners?
I closed my eyes and covered my ears.
Oh, it was a long.
Yeah, I know it. I was like, how
It was a
effing long
long
is this? With the best part about Final Destination is seeing in real time how the
people
deaths
die.
happen.
Yeah, I was a little
don't need
I was
to
a little
see
pissed
it
off, honestly.
But you know how they do. What they do is they show you the big death in the trailer.
Yes.
And the thing that they actually survive in the trailer. And then boom, when the movie starts, it's all these other deaths. So I think
but the
I think
Final
we got
Destination trailer, the one that came out on social media, was like short, and also you were left thinking it was something else, and then seeing the extended trailer, I feel like I know what it was, and then some.
I think that they showed us the log truck in the trailer.
Okay.
Right? Like I think they absolutely showed us didn't somebody die in the plane crash? Wasn't that the first one? Was that the plane crash? Am I making that up? I think they show us the big scene.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna go
Okay.
see this. And then boom, they just get that big scene out of the way.
And it's done.
And then you end up in the tub being decapitated by an invisible line or something like that, right? Like that's how it works.
We're gonna watch the Oklahoma City bombing documentary tonight.
take that back. I did watch a movie. I watched the I forget what it's called on Netflix, but it's about the Oklahoma City bombing. And that documentary does a tremendous job because in the documentary, for those people, I was alive for the Oklahoma City bombing, so I know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But everybody might not. And so they do a great job, for those of you who don't know, telling you the story of what happened and why it happened and why it was not just tragic, but important to tell the story, while also for people like me getting to the human component of it. There are moments in there, plural, where I felt myself like, oh, I'm going to cry. I'm going to lose it here. I am absolutely going to. And if I was in the comfort of my home when I watched it, I absolutely would have cried. I would have allowed myself that moment to cry. Thinking about the fact that it's a government building that was also a daycare, and hearing the stories about the rescuers trying to get in there to find the dead bodies of children at that daycare. And it's not just children, babies at that daycare, and hearing the parents tell those stories, telling the story. There's a story in there about trying not to give too much away, but somebody who was trapped in the rebel, right? Under all the stuff. And I know that person is alive and well now. I know that person makes it because the person is telling the story. But hearing them talk about, hey, it's pitch black down there, smoke and dirt and dust are in my lungs, I can barely speak, I hear people around, and I say help, and they ask me what color I have on, and I tell them I don't remember. They're laying under all this debris, and there are all these other bodies around them. And the rescuers are like, hey, we hear you, but we kind of don't know which one is you. You got to tell us what color you have on, and you got to think. It's like, I don't remember. Oh, just, it's going to be, get your
All
tissue,
right.
damn a tissue, get a towel, because
Okay.
you're going to mess that tissue. You're going to go through tissue.
wait.
Get the towel, because you're just going to be constant waterworks. It's incredible.
All right, I'll tell you what I think. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll have more NBA action. Well, I mean, we'll talk about it. What else are we going to talk about? It's the offseason. We drafted animals men would fight. Welcome.
We do that during the regular season
Welcome
also.
to our best season here on the show.
You act like we don't draft dumb stuff.
Exactly, that's my favorite thing. Yes, we talk about all the dumb stuff, and we'll talk about more of it. And Lang Whitaker will join us tomorrow. And we have no idea what will pop off between now and then, but it'll be a Friday, and we'll see you then. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
I'll just sick. And I try not to be kill them all, leave them dead, but
it feels that way.
Glad they got me.